Hello everyone, welcome back to JDCodebase. In this video, we are going to understand one of the most confusing topic in JavaScript. Yes, this is the most confusing topic, and that is this keyword. If you ever felt confused like why this is a window here, why this keyword becomes undefined, why arrow function behaves differently, then don't worry, you are not bad at JavaScript. This keyword confuses almost everyone at the beginning. And in this video, I will explain it slowly, step by step with the real example and live coding. So by the end of this video, you will clearly understand how this works, why it behaves differently, when to use call, apply, and bind. So let's start. And this is a part of our web development series here on JDCodebase. In this video, you will learn what this keyword really means, how this keyword work in the global scope, this keyword inside the normal function, this keyword inside the object, this keyword in the event, arrow function versus the normal function, and call, apply, and bind method. This is the most important for the interview purpose also, and common beginner mistakes, and so this is going to be complete beginner to deep explanation of on this keyword. Now what is this keyword? First, let's understand what this actually is. In simple word, this keyword refers to the object that is executing the current function. Very important point here is the value of this keyword is decided at the runtime, not when you write the code. And one golden rule you must remember, this keyword depends on how a function is called, not where it is written. This keep this rule in mind. These three rules are the basic building block of this video. It will help you everywhere. Now let's see a common example. So this is a normal boilerplate code of the HTML. Let me write a simple console.log this keyword inside this, and let me see in this. I get the window object here in the browser console. Perfect. And you will see that this point to the window object here. So in the browser global, this is the window here. Perfect. Now in this in the global scope, here is like this refer to the window object in the browser, and even in strict mode global, this is still window in the browser. Like if I write here use strict, and again I get the windows here. And if I write here means if I make a one more file here, let me make a temporary.js file, and inside this I write console.log this and run this cdjs node 25. Okay, forget node temp.js. Node temp.js. I get the blank object here. It means in this normal temporary.js file, I get this a blank object. But here when I write here in the browser console, in this console.log this, I get the window object. This is the difference between this behavior of this keyword in the global scope, in the browser, or in the console, in the terminal. Now this inside a normal function. Yes, we in JavaScript we learn two types of function, normal function and the arrow function. So this keyword behaves differently in both of the function. Like this keyword inside a normal function is like without strict mode, this refer to the window object like here, and with the strict mode this refer to the undefined here. Let me show you. First I comment this and make a function, say hello, and inside this I am saying hello from normal function, and console.log this just normal, I write a simple function. Let's call this function say hello, and let's see in the browser. I get hello from the normal function. I get the Windows object here. Now when I uncomment this, use strict mode, and then I get the undefined. So this is the behavior of this inside a normal function. When I call this function, I get this become the uh, this refer to the Windows object in this. Why? Because this is a normal function and it is called normally. And now when we use the strict mode, I get the undefined. So remember, normal function, in the normal function without the strict mode, it refer to the Windows object. With the strict mode, it refer to the undefined. Normal function always get their own this. Means this is compulsory that you will get this either the undefined or the Windows object. Now this keyword inside an object method. So this is, let's see the most common real world usage, like inside a object. Let me comment this. For I make a object user. Inside this I give a name, that's it, JD, not JD, and a normal function, greet function. This take a function and console.log this console.log greet from normal function. And let me see here. Okay, I forgot to call this function. Let me call the user dot greet function. Now I get greet from normal function object, and here I get the same object. So here this refer to the object before the dot. Like this here, this keyword refer to the complete object here, the main parent object, the main first object in this. So that's why this refer to the, if I want to use here name property here, I get the name JD. If I write one more property, age is the, let's say 25, and if I want to retrieve the age, I get the 25 age. So this is how this keyword is mostly used in the real project. And if I want to use this in the nested object, this behave differently here. This always point to the immediate calling object. Like here, I am calling this keyword from this object. What if I want to, if I make a one more object here, let object, inside this I am giving name JDCodebase. This is a nested object. Basically I easily get the value of here user dot obj dot name, and I get the value here. Okay, I have to console this value, console.log user.obj.name. I get the JDCodebase, so there is no issue with that. You have now let's call this greet function, greet obj, and inside this I am writing a function. Now this function is the nested object function, and console.log this keyword. Now let's see here. Okay, I have to call this function user.obj dot greet object. Now I get this I get a function named JDCodebase and greet function, greet object function inside this. And inside this normal function, let me console.log this, I get a name. A name is JD, age is 25, and also I get an object, this name JDCodebase, greet object and greet function. but inside the nested object I get only this refer to this first immediate calling object. It does not automatically refer to the parent object, this user one. So every method has its own this. Now this in the event handler, and event handler means let me show you. I have a button having a id btn. Let me write a here document dot get element by id btn, and in on this button I am applying a event listener. Let's see, click, and also this also take a function console.log this. So and this is just normal DOM application, means I'm applying the getting the button and applying the add event listener. Click on method on this button. So now let's see. I get, when I click on this button, I get this button itself. So this refer to the button element itself. This is very important for the DOM manipulation. In normal function event handler, this is the element that trigger the event. Now one of the most part of the important part of this video is the arrow function versus the normal function, and this is the also most important for the interview purpose also. So normal function has its own this, its value depend on how it is called. Arrow function does not have its own this, and it takes this from the parent scope. Remember this word, it takes the this from its parent scope, means inherit this from the parent scope, and remember this one. Now this in the arrow function, let me write here. So if I have this object, user object, inside this I have name JD, a greet function, a age 25, and a nested object. Now if I want to write a one more arrow, see these both three functions are the normal function by calling by using this function keyword. Now let me write a arrow function, create arrow function, and inside this just write arrow function. Now console.log this, and console.log this dot name, and also console.log arrow greet. So let me call this user dot greet arrow function. Now let's see what I get. Arrow greet function, I get the window object. Why? In this I am getting this user object, I am getting hello from the normal function, I am getting the this object here. Oh sorry, I get this object here, but inside this I am not getting the object. Why? Because this will not work as expected. Why? Because arrow function does not have its own this, it takes this from the global skull, which is the window. Remember one line is that object does not have their own scope, and this depend on the scope. I'm also again telling you object does not have their own scope, and this keyword depend on the scope, and arrow function does not have scope, object does not have scope, so they go to the global scope here, and global scope here is the windows. So that's why arrow function are not good for the object method. Means it does not mean you never use in this arrow and this object, but arrow function are not good for the object methods. Now this in the arrow functions, and means normal arrow function. Like here I am right here in this object, let me write here in the normal arrow function. Let's see, const arrow function, I get console.log arrow function and console.log this keyword. And let me show you normal function also with this. Now let's see here. Okay, I forget to call this function. Say hello and arrow function. Let's see. See both the function target both function this target to read this uh, Windows object. Why? Because you want to preserve the property here, means the parent with this. Like they are not suitable for the object method event handler, and most of the time you have you use this in this. Now problem examples are like why arrow function helps with this keyword, because losing this inside this key callback. And because in normal function, if I write set timeout, let's assume a set timeout function, I am run this getting the value from this, it does not, it gives the undefined here. But when I use this keyword, so this help us in this scenario. Means arrow function keep the parent this is where arrow function shine, means use basically. Now call method, apply method and the bind method, these three are the trio. So call method is used to call a function with the specific value, like you have a, let me write a function, a function greet call, I am getting their city, and inside this I am this dot name from and city. And when I call this and I have this user object here, when I call this greet dot call and with this user object and with the user object and with the value of city, so let's say Delhi. Now let's see, I get, where is, okay, greet call is the function name, I get JD from Delhi. So here basically call, let us manually set this argument as pass one by one. Like here I have a function greet call, this take a one argument and means one value, that is the Delhi, and I am console.log this dot name from city. But here I am apply call method here, call this means function call means it takes the also take the value user and takes the value. So apply is also same, but difference is that instead of just calling this with the uh, giving the value normally, I have to give into the arrow form, apply user, and instead of normal value give into the arrow form like Delhi. So let me run JD from Delhi, I am get the value here. So now let's same as apply call, but argument are passed as an array. Last one is the bind method. Bind method is like let me make a function const bind, oh let's say const new function equal to greet not greet sorry, greet call dot bind user Delhi. And I am calling this new function. So bind does not run immediately, means like here I am just call dot apply, and but in this bind I have to it returns a new function with the fixed. Like here I am getting JD from Delhi, it's normal like the call and apply, but I have to take the value into the normal new function. So call method argument pass one by one. One difference is that apply method argument pass as an array. Bind method it returns a new function, not not like the normal one, not like the call and apply. Now let's see a quick comparison between the call, apply, and bind. Call runs the immediately, yes. Apply runs the immediately, yes. But bind returns new function. Now, common beginner mistake, expecting this to behave like other languages, and using arrow function as object method, and losing this inside the callbacks, forgetting strict mode behavior. All of these are normal when learning. Now, real world use cases, this is used in the DOM, events, object oriented JavaScript, reusable function, framework like React, Angular, and Vue also. Now let's quickly summarize. This keyword depend on how a function is called. Arrow function do not have their own this. Call, apply, bind, control this manually, and practice is the key. So that is for this video. I know this keyword feels confusing at first, but trust me, once you practice these example, play with the more with this keyword, it will become very clear for you. The PPT and source code are available in the video description, so make sure to check them. If this video helpful, like the video, subscribe to JD Codebase. See you in the next video.